Yeah, because I'm 30 in fucking 2 weeks. 10 days.
Not, you're good.
You're a
not
baby.
old.
You're like
baby.
the youngest one here. You know that, right,
Babby.
Timmy?
Babby.
Just a
Babby.
baby.
Well,
Just a
Little babby.
baby.
to give Dark Lace in the chat context, we all just found out that Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2 for the first time 30 years ago, and now we're all feeling incredibly old.
30 years ago today.
So Timmy's feeling his bones pop and creak and croak.
My back has just started hurting a ridiculous amount, again, for no reason.
Alright, let's get started. Oh shit, I opened up my notes for a court case with the Leonin Council instead of today's.
Wrong game.
That's the wrong game. Alright.
I don't think we have a single Leonin in this campaign.
No.
Not even an NPC. So.
The queen is dead and gone.
That.
Well, at least she's gone. For now. Long live La Floridita. Long live Prismere. Hello, Pirate Council. May our tall tales please you. When we last left our heroes, they'd made a covert assault on Loonlurch, the home/sweatshop of Granny Nightshade. Caught in the act of stealing from the hag's bedroom, a fight ensued with Granny Nightshade and her many defenders, which saw the pirate crew bring all their power to bear in a pitched battle involving air and fire elementals, tin soldiers and pixies, and even mushroom people and giant tentacles. As we settle our gaze on the party, the hag's crumpled body lets out a gasp, a death rattle that reverberates through thither and beyond. I'm going to go around, Dylan. Do you want to start by describing what does Sorn look like currently? For someone who, never seen him before, what does he look like right now?
A mess. Currently a mess. He looked pretty good walking in, or running in, riding his weird seahorse in. Looked great. And then just got wailed on for a couple of minutes. And now he kind of looks like shit. Clothes, still immaculate. They never get damaged somehow.
What kind of clothes is he wearing? What are you
currently wearing I believe it was a dark coat over a velvet waistcoat, I think it was.
Ooh.
Yeah, my velvet waistcoat that I found, that I stole from Bilgewater. Or Pauly stole and gave to me. Normal clothes. No armor. Doesn't need it. It's too cool.
Mm-hmm.
Covered in weird runic markings that are currently starting to fade out now that the combat has ended. But he looks fairly disheveled. Bit of blood coming down from the side of his lip and his nose, and he's like, I didn't hear no bell. But he looks pretty rough.
Alright. We pan across to Karu. Katie, can you describe Karu for me, please?
Karu is also not looking his best. Is he still double his size?
Yeah, I believe that lasts an hour.
Okay, so yeah, he's twice as big as normal. So he's a standard tall boy normally, but now he's like 12 feet tall, 13 feet tall. He's a blue fish boy, blue elf. He has recently undergone a massive physical transformation, but he has since come back to his standard self. But you can kind of see on his arms where his fins are, you can kind of see the after effects of the skin around the base of the fins being stressed from where they had elongated and become jagged, essentially, weapons. He also has those same things on his lower legs because he doesn't wear a lot of armor, hence why he's relatively squishy. And he also doesn't wear shoes, I've come to think. That his lower legs are exposed, he's barefoot, his lower arms are exposed, and then he just kind of has really standard crappy armor on. His two long tentacles have kind of gone back to their sort of normal length, but they're still kind of icky. Still kind of dripping a bit of the black viscous fluid. And I think his eyes are still when he transforms, his eyes lose their black pupils and just become pure yellow, like full yellow. I think they're still kind of like that. So he's a little bug-eyed at the moment. And he's just like covered in blood. Some of his, some of others. Yeah.
Column A, a little bit of column B.
Exactly.
Excellent. Pauly. What do we see when we look at Pauly?
Well, Pauly is a dashing, very, very attractive in his own eyes. His mum tells him all the time, if he had a mother, how beautiful he is. He's such a good, strong boy. No, Pauly is an Aarakocran. He is of the Parrot variety, so big like rainbow macaw style, like red resplendent feathers with like the kind of cascade down to yellow and like blue at the edge of the wings. Always wearing his tricorn hat because he has a bit of a bald patch that he's very ashamed of, so you'll never see him without it. And always he also has like this really nice like big coat, like double-breasted lapel trench coat with epaulets on there that he put on there himself to make himself look like more of a fancy captain. The weapons Pauly has, probably the most like impressive thing about him is the way he can dash around and use these weapons. His talon, his rapier, and it has like a really nice gold filigree hand guard on it, and that can stab a lot of things like it has many, many times. And then he's got his little buddy, his little pistol shrimp, which is a sentient gun. That's like a little shrimpy boy that just like shoots like little cavitation blasts at people. Just like shoots his load essentially onto the enemy, all over their face. That just happened to Bavlorna. That was no, Bavlorna. Was it Bavlorna? No, sorry.
Granny Nightshade.
Granny Nightshade. Yeah. So just shot his load right over Bavlorna, like Granny Nightshade's face. Probably soon to be Bavlorna as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's a bit of a cheeky boy.
Excellent. And Yama.
Yama is a red-skinned hobgoblin samurai. He's fully decked out in very intricate, ornate golden armor. A long golden cape flows behind him. He's looking extremely bloodied from this battle where he was actually completely knocked unconscious and almost dragged into an oven. Maybe he's a little bit singed on the edges or something, but yeah, he's very like battle scarred from lots and lots of battles. He's like coming up to like 60 years old, so he's like a wizened old man who's fought his whole life in the army, the military, hobgoblin military. And yeah, he carries a long katana at his side that is a family heirloom. It's very magical, very mysterious and ornate. And yeah, his armor, if you focus on it, is like maybe moving a little bit. Like there's some artwork on there that's maybe like reenacting old battles and stuff like that. So
Very nice. Standing around here with you is Lot, the cleric that you rescued from the Porvenir mimic ship. She is looking somewhat beat up as well. So you can kind of see the glow of her tattoos, sort of the golden glow of her clan, I guess, sort of fading away a little bit there. She's still wearing sort of the typical pirate blouse, and a bit of a sort of a skirt that's sort of been ripped at the side to kind of allow more free movement. And your other companion, Diana Cloppington, in her not a centaur but half girl, half horse form, with her butterfly wings, obviously on her back, protruding out from a long coat that kind of sits over almost like a that looks a lot more dark and brooding than perhaps she is, with her sort of brightly painted butterfly wings and gold braids in the hair kind of thing. But she has a brooding dark cloak swept over her horse torso, and she's looking a little bit beat up as well. Probably the first real battle that she's had to fight in. looking completely unscathed, is a very old, grey-bearded dwarf with the kind of double-pointed horn helmet, point in the middle, who's just sort of getting up from having ridden the Jabberwocky into the ground, from whence he was thrown by Yama.
I can't believe I forgot about the dwarf.
And as it sort of fades to smoke and kind of turns to sort of dark purplish ultraviolet smoke and fades away, he's just sort of yelling at it. That's right, you daft scunner, that's what you get for messing with the Elkhorn! And he sort of bangs shield and sword together.
Hell yeah. Oh, bloody good job, guys. That was phenomenal. I am very surprised we lived through that.
Why?
Sorry,
You're cutting out there.
Lost you there, Katie.
Oh, I was going to say, why did we end up fighting her?
So...
Yeah, what happened to the stealth mission?
Look. Yeah, that was a thing. And then there was this dollhouse in the way, and I may have kicked it. And there was this, like, jar of moths, and it was either save the dollhouse or save the moths. And I saved the moths, and she heard that. And she came running up the stairs, and I shot her.
Sounds like Pauly.
She was interrupting my burglary.
Of her house.
Yes.
Can I go up to the dwarf? Sir, I didn't catch your name before chucking you at that dragon. Are you quite alright?
He sort of looks up at you and says, oh, not to worry, laddie. The Elkhorn is strong. The Elkhorn is fierce. That's not the first time I've been thrown at a dragon, be sure.
Well, alright, good to know. I just want to, like, shake his hand and maybe cast, like, a minor healing on him or something.
Oh, he's like, unharmed.
He's fine. Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dude, I teleported him out of a hole
He's
in
just
the ground. Like,
In fact, let's see if I can find... I should have... here we go.
Dope.
So sturdy.
He is cool.
we're inviting him to join the ship.
Yeah, how'd you get
NPC.
trapped in there, bud?
Oh, well, my companions and I were trying to stop some evil you can up at the palace, and bit of the oogly-boogly magic happened, and I was sort of outside. I was outside relieving myself at the time. Yeah, my bladder's not the same as it used to be, and when all was said and done, I was rushing in to fight the evil, this League of Malice, and I got knocked out, and I woke up here. This bloody hag locked me in her kitchen, was keeping me down here for some reason.
Well, I mean, we're your friends, you know?
Oh, there's evil magics up there at the castle, but lad.
I mean, we're planning to go there eventually. If you want to go back there and get vengeance for your friends or find them, you could stick with us for a bit.
Last I saw, they'd been frozen. Some sort of evil sorcerer works his ways up there. The hags, too, they all put something together. Me and my 4 companions, they know more about that arcane nonsense than I do. I kind of just run
yeah, we leave that to the elf.
Oh, you have one as well? Yes.
Yep. Yeah. I just like point backwards.
Hey,
like
he would know who I am. Yeah, I'm looking out the door.
Oh, yes.
Just like,
I actually thought he might have been part of the League of Malice when I first saw him.
Most people do.
I'm just gonna, while this is happening, Sorn's just gonna be like, well, they're talking shit about me again.
He's not evil.
I'm
he's
gonna
just
go look for this picture.
Yeah. He's not evil. He's just grumpy. Very grumpy.
Oh, before I turn around, I'm going to yell out to Pauly, I think we should invite this guy to join us. And then I'm just going to turn around and walk back into the
Yeah,
house.
that's kind of what I'm doing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you want to, mate, come with us. Come for a little bit of an adventure for now. We'll try unfreeze your mates. We're just going to go and murder another hag first, I believe, and then we're going to go there.
As long as I have strength in me wee bones to fight evil, that is what I will do.
I like you. You're good. How are you about thieving, though?
Well. What kind of thieving are we talking? Are we talking robbing from the rich, giving to the poor?
Yes.
Are we talking about undoing the capitalistic system that kind of reigns supreme among the surface folk?
Yes, and we're going to remove the bourgeoisie and then make sure the proletariat rises. Yes, you get it!
We have an obligation to fight atrocity and corruption whatever we can.
Good man. All right, we're going to start a pirate union. Let's go.
What? Excellent. Sorn, you find yourself in the kitchen, which I'll describe again, sort of a squalid kitchen carved out of the trunk of this fallen oak. A large clay oven sits in the middle of the room, surrounded by crowded shelves laden with forest fungi, jars of pickled grubs, animal skulls, moldy cookbooks, and there's a sort of a cauldron that's resting atop the oven, using the heat from that to kind of bubble away there. There's a young girl shackled to the work table. She was, it looked like at one point, perhaps peeling potatoes, but obviously when the fight broke out and a fire elemental emerged, she kind of ducked for cover, and a lot of her cooking work, I think, went flying. And I think now she's chained to the table still, but just sort of staring eyes wide at the corpse of Granny Nightshade on the floor.
Did I not drag the corpse out with me?
Oh, did you? Oh, you did. Sorry, you did.
Oh, you took... Oh, no. I thought you took the head, but we blew the head off. So.
Yeah, no, I dragged the corpse out with me because...
To threaten the goblins, yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to
she's wide-eyed staring at where the corpse was, as if at that point in time her brain shut off and was just like, oh god, I have done a trauma.
I'm going to, since I'm not strong enough to break the chains, is the table made of wood?
Oh yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna use, I want to use Firebolt in a way where I just channel the heat through my hands and just
a small welding torch.
Essentially turn the wood into charcoal and then just snap it. So the kid still is chained but can move freely.
Yeah.
Just until Pauly can pick the lock.
Yep. I thought a good slogan for our D&D campaign. Tats and Taris, keeping child therapists in jobs.
And I'm just gonna after I've done that, I'll say you can make your way outside. Where are the other children? And I'm just going to look around and open doors and peek through doorways and see what's where.
Yeah. When you ask where the other children are, she kind of shakily points to where you end up going, sort of southwest, to the rest of the long tree, and she's like, most of them are in the workshop.
Alrighty.
I know what to do next.
I'll get to that in a moment. I'm gonna while hearing that, I've just walked over here, opened the door, and peered through for a quick glance to see if anything's there, because I don't like closed doors, especially this close after combat. Don't want anyone sneaking up on me.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go back over to the other room where I'm assuming, because that door was open during battle, I'm gonna assume that-that's the bedroom area, that side.
Yeah, that is.
So what's in there? Let me describe to you what you saw down first when you opened the first door, and then I'll come back. So when you open it, it's sort of a big, there's another tree that's kind of grown up. If you can imagine, this long tree you're in has been carved out to make sort of these buildings, but then there are trees that have grown up through it. So the circular buildings that you can see are other trees that have grown up through it and then been hollowed out into sort of almost like wizard towers. The one you opened first down in the southwest is a room that has 3 doors, including the one you opened, and a wood-carved staircase that ascends to a higher level. The walls are a dense tangle of tree roots and brambles, nestled among which are 5 animated portraits. one of a svelte, dark-haired woman, and the others depicting hags.
That's the room I want to go into.
And there is also a small dwarven child in here who is kind of trying to dust the paintings, but every time she does, you can see that she's got sort of like scratches all along her arms because she has to kind of like reach through the brambles to kind of dust these paintings.
Can I use my... Because I have a mage hand, sort of. Can I use my mage hand to try and just, like, break the lock? Or... nah, I don't think I could.
What lock?
Because the dwarven child's, like, chained?
She's not chained, no. It's just the one in the kitchen.
Okay, I'm just going to say to the dwarven child, I'll be like, you can go. Just go the way I came. You don't need to stay here anymore. It's okay.
Okay, but Granny Nightshade said I had to...
Oh, she's dead.
Why did we let Sorn deal with the children?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you guys, in Sorn's mind, you guys are dealing with a bearded child outside.
She drops the duster and kind of like runs into the kitchen past you.
I'm just gathering everyone in the kitchen. So that when you guys walk in, you just get a barrage of children. You're just like, what the fuck? Where'd they come from? I'm gonna like look at the portraits.
Yep. So you see. Let me describe. So there are 5 portraits, and it's Harry Potter style. Like they're sort of slightly moving. They don't seem to be aware of you, but it's kind of like someone did a boomerang, right?
Yeah.
Someone uploaded some TikToks into their portraits. You see one with a truly ancient and terrifying hag that you have not met yet.
Oh god.
You see a toadish hag, which looks spot on like Bavlorna. You see a skeletal hag wearing a black theatrical contraption resembling a dress, and a hag with a wind-up key in her back, one empty eye socket, and a wooden eye held in her hand that looks a lot like Granny Nightshade. You also see what you recognize, although the hair is a little bit different, you recognize this woman from your dream in the 5th picture. A svelte, dark-haired woman with a commanding presence. She's got that tattoo under her right eye. But instead of her hair being parted half white and half black, it's just all black and sort of in a bit of a sort of almost like not a ponytail, but like a fancy one. Let me show you some pictures.
Well, you get the pictures up. Am I able to remove them from where they are placed?
Potentially. I mean, they're big. So depending on how
I'm happy to take some time and do it carefully.
So the picture and the woman you see looks like this.
Ooh.
Oh, it's dope.
Super dope.
Sounds like I'm about to make a pact for more power.
God damn.
And I'll use, while I'm taking the time to try and, cut the bramble away so that I can remove them cleanly and safely, I'll use my Stormlord's blade in, a way where it's, I turn it into, a little, knife.
Mm-hmm.
And, cleanly and slowly just remove layer after layer of bramble until I can, move them out.
Yeah. And
I want to just place them, in the center of the... I'll place them in the kitchen along, this wall here, one at a time.
Yep. So there's a picture of Granny Nightshade.
I hate it.
She did.
There's a picture of Bavlorna, who you've met before.
She about to be dead.
And then the 4th one, who you haven't met. Oh, sorry, the 3rd one you haven't met.
Terrifying.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
boy.
That one will be fun.
Horrifying. We've seen that image before.
Yeah.
We have, yeah.
That one looks like it definitely has
Nasty.
spiders around it, and I don't like that at all. So someone's gonna go in there on fire.
Yeah, I don't think I have a
Love
picture
that.
of the Sorry,
The
continue.
fourth. Alright, yeah, I'll slowly bring them all out. And I want to... How large are they?
They're quite big, so like wider than you, and maybe not taller, but they're sort of like these five large portraits.
Okay. Would we say that I am, with how I have been with being the quartermaster and how well I've been using Gerald?
They're not going
Geraldine.
They're not going to fit in your sleeve.
No, because it has at ranks. Trying to see what rank I'm at. At rank 4, I can turn my sleeve into a portable hole, which is 6 feet wide and 10 feet deep.
Interesting.
That's in the looking at the notes of it. Yeah.
Do you want to give it a try?
I'm not gonna force it.
Sure.
But I'm gonna try to mentally, because I have the mental link with
Why don't you
it.
just give me a straight up D20, nothing added to it. I just want to see. 15? Yeah, I think so. 15's pretty good.
Alright. Cool. I'm gonna mentally will it to come down my hand and just drop onto the floor, and then a big hole just opens.
Yeah.
And I'll slowly just place them in the hole, and then mentally
how
will it back.
How are you pulling them off the wall with your mage hand?
No. I was cutting away at the bramble, and then I was just going to
that's right. Sorry.
grab them and move them.
Yep.
In my mind, some time's passed, and I'm in the kitchen now,
Mhm.
and I'm just placing them, lowering them down in one at a time, and then once that's done, I will mentally will it back to just jump back into my sleeve.
Yeah. Sweet. So you've loaded all 5 in there?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay. You don't show them to your team?
Not right this moment. When they come in, I'll reopen the hole and
Sure,
show
once
them.
you sorted everything.
Just for now, so
Yeah,
I can move on instead of.
No, that's fine. What are other people? Let's cut to the other people and see what they're doing.
I'm going to go up to the pixies
Mm-hmm.
and go, "Hey, good job, guys! You really helped us out there."
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Air Spirit, you were all over the place. You were like, bah, 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 and then
Yeah, I'm gonna do some moves in the sky for him and just play around with him in the sky. Hey!
The Sea Spirit got really scary. You
Yeah,
weren't
the
there,
sea
but
spirit.
The Sea Spirit got really scary.
Sea spirit can be scary, but the sea spirit's really cool, so we're okay with that.
Okay, is he okay now?
Yeah, I think he's okay now.
Yeah, you see, Cowslip is still covering her eyes,
All right, I'm gonna go up and do the same thing and go boo.
She goes, ah!
Hey, can you guys do me one last big favor?
Sure, yeah.
Can you go get Will and tell him we got the kids free?
Oh, Will?
Yeah.
And one of the pixies kind of stands there and she goes, I know where he is! And then she flits off and the other one's like, no you don't! And then flies off after her and the three pixies chase after each other.
I love them.
I have found a picture. Here's the picture of
Whoa.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, that one's. Oh god,
What?
I don't like that.
That's
I love that.
awesome.
I love that.
I love
That's
it, but I
so
don't like the symbolism associated with it.
For fighting it, yeah, fair. fair.
Where
But,
we
yeah.
are. Ooh.
Ancient hag.
Okay, good. Will's gonna be on the way soon, and then that's good.
Cool. Also, one thing I forgot to resolve, because Cait, last session you gifted a sub, didn't you? You didn't just subscribe.
Yeah, I
which
gifted, yeah.
means we have to trigger a wild magic surge.
That wasn't the
Ooh.
fucking wild magic surge with the bloody.
No, that was the.
No, that was
phylactery.
filled the
Okay.
That was
phylactery.
filling the phylactery. And mostly because I want to involve Josh. I see Josh is in chat. I would like him to roll a D100 for me, please.
Make it good, bruh.
Make it good for us.
Another one.
6.
6.
Okay. Who would you like this to affect, Josh?
Oh god.
Could be friend or foe.
he's doing the dramatic pause. I love it.
Sorn. Okay. Just as you
What?
get
Sorn? No way.
just as you get the
Yes.
paintings in the in your sleeve, Sorn, you feel sort of a wave of magic ripple out through thither, and you are transformed into a large empty barrel. You are considered petrified.
Not again.
And you know the best part is too, we don't know he's there. So we haven't been in that room. So we wouldn't know
No,
he's
I'm
a
back in the
fucking
kitchen.
barrel.
I'm back in the kitchen.
Yeah, we don't know what a fucking barrel. None of us are in there with you.
You're a barrel in a
exactly.
kitchen. You're next to a couple of other barrels too.
All right, let's play
I've,
prop hunt, guys.
Yes.
I started out petrified, and this may be the end of Sorn. He's back petrified.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, Josh.
Yama or Karu, what are you doing?
I mean, like, I think, like, the last thing that happened in last session was, like, Yama came over and healed Karu, and Karu, like, reverted back to his shape.
Yeah,
But
he
he's
did
always-
his lay on hands, and he was
That's-
questioning you a little bit.
Yeah. Obviously, like, Karu is still big, but he's no longer terrifying werefish. Even though his eyes are still, like, only yellow. But I think he kind of, he obviously thanked Yama immediately, and then Yama starts to talk to the dwarf, and he kind of like looks around and he sees Lot and Diana. He kind of walks over to them and he's like, "You guys okay?" He kind of didn't quite get away in time to not take a hit.
Lot is sort of like, bandaging wounds. I think she's probably gone over and is bandaging like one of Diana's legs or something. And she's like, yeah, look, this isn't as bad as the lich that stole Christmas, I suppose. It was still pretty hairy for a minute there, though. And Diana's kind of a little bit wide-eyed seeing you walk over, and she's like, are you okay? That was pretty scary. I mean, it was scary that we were getting attacked and murdered, but you've got a bit of ink on you. And she like sort of clops over a little bit and like tries to use Sorn's old jacket to kind of like rub off some of the ink on one of your tentacles.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh no, that's a lost cause. Just don't." And he like holds up the tentacle, and she sees that the ink just like oozes out of it, like it's coming from the tentacle. He's like, "Yeah, no, that'll stop."
Oh,
And then I don't really know how to stop it, but it does stop.
okay, that's fine. As long as you're okay, you look pretty beat up. You summoned an air elemental? That's wild.
Yeah, that kind of seemed like that had to happen, and then that dragon thing came out of nowhere, and the air elemental did not fucking like it. And honestly, I'm grateful. I don't think I can ever do that again, though. So that's cool. It's fine. Maybe I get another gem like that later.
Was that the same dragon you killed before?
I don't think I was there for that.
Oh yeah, you weren't there for that. Sorry.
Yes.
So she would say, I think that's the same dragon that Pauly and Yama and Sorn killed before when you were napping.
I really got to stop napping.
Snooze.
Although when I nap, I don't get hit, so I don't know. Well, that's kind of weird. If they already killed it, why did it come back?
And same thing happened last time. It just disappeared. I think someone's sending it after us.
Oh wow.
Like
Maybe-
the chat.
Yeah,
Josh.
someone named Chat.
Sorry, Dan. I just have one question.
Yeah.
While I'm petrified,
Yes.
my power is a lot different to what it was when I was petrified the last time.
Sure.
Would I be considered as conscious, just like restrained and obviously polymorphed, but would I be considered as conscious?
An interesting question. Because you have no eyes, no ears, so you would have no senses. I'm wondering if you've been thrown into some kind of sensory deprivation kind of thing. It
So I
doesn't
know if I was petrified normally, like my eyes would still be there.
Sure. Yeah, but you've been turned
but they're
into...
not
Specifically, you are a large empty barrel.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm thinking if I am... if I'm petrified and the kids are still in the room, they've seen this happen.
Yes.
And I'm just yelling mentally in all directions.
Yeah.
Go and get Lot.
I think because your physiology has changed to wood. You are... I think it's more that you may rail at the darkness that way, but I don't think... You don't feel like that message is getting out.
Damn it. I'm just yelling, someone get Lot, please. Not again.
That's so fun.
I will
This
say that,
is
like,
literally trauma-inducing for Sorn.
PTSD.
Yeah.
It's not
getting
good.
a lot of flashbacks to the many years you sat
As a rock.
petrified as a rock statue. Probably a very similar feeling.
Yeah, not good.
I
Sorn's
think-
like screaming to the darkness.
the barrel screams into the void. I think Karu like had to walk over to where like near the door to go and talk to Diana and Lot, and I think like he actually like gets curious because he was the only one that didn't go into the hut. And he kind of like turns to Diana and he's like, I'm sorry if I scared you. That form that I was in just then tends to not get a very good reaction from people. I don't know what it looks like, but sorry.
Yeah, Lot's like, oh, that's fine. I've fought weirder things. You get a lot of creatures like that out in the deep, in the far islands. I'm surprised to see you like that, though. But I guess I can't be too shocked because you did find me in the belly of a ship that looked like a creature that looked like a boat.
Yeah, we're both kind of weird. Let's be fair.
This is just a Monday afternoon for me.
Yeah. Honestly, you'd probably be more surprised if I didn't do something like this.
Yeah, if you all recruited another human to your crew, I'd be very confused and surprised.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. One day, we're going to just completely shock everybody and we're going to hire someone to our crew that has no powers.
Yeah.
Nothing. No backstory. They're just a dude.
They're just a guy.
They're just a guy. And he kind of like gives both of them like a little like tap on their shoulders with these two tentacles, and he walks over to the door and he like puts his like sort of like giant man puts his head sort of in and sees the kids.
Yeah, you
I
see two
assume.
cowering children. One looks a little bit monstrous. One looks like a young dwarf. And a very sort of burnt, scarred room full of, cooking equipment, a cauldron bubbling up on the stove above the oven, and just a couple of barrels of apples, mushrooms, different kinds of food. One empty one. I
think he looks around, he like looks at the kids and he kind of like waves with the tentacle, and then like
they kind of shrink a little bit as you do, as you wave at them. They kind of shrink back behind the oven.
He's like, "Oh, I'm not always this big. Sorry. Hi." And he like looks around. He's like, "Is there a drow in here before? Because he's not outside."
They kind of
scary dude, moody dude,
wide-eyed children look of like, and then they point at the barrels that are in the corner.
Kara's like, "Is he in the barrel? Is he hiding in the barrel?"
I think the hag cursed him. He for killing her, and now he's a barrel.
Okay. Karu just like starts laughing, and then like the tentacle goes in, and he like points like at the empty barrel. He's like, "This one?"
Yeah.
And he like grabs it, and he just drags it out, drags it outside, and like whirls it around, and he's just like, "Hey, Captain! Apparently, Sorn's a barrel now." And he's just holding the barrel.
Give me the barrel.
He like throws it.
I purposely don't catch it.
There you go.
Clunks onto the ground, rolls a little bit.
Sorn is now dead. I'm pretty
all
sure
right.
if you break something if someone's petrified and you break it, they die.
or they don't. Yeah, they if they get unpetrified, they lose that limb. Although you've been polymorphed, kind of, so it's a little bit different.
Alright.
But yeah.
Josh got him. God damn it.
I'm gonna do some acrobatics tricks with said barrel. I'm gonna like roll on, like I'm gonna like walk on top of it,
Yep.
and they do like flips and stuff.
Yeah, Karu walks over to Yama and is just like, "Do you think Sorn's like getting sick?" Like,
That barrel is Sorn. What?
oh yeah. According to two kids in the hut, that's Sorn.
All right, this is now, guys.
Trust
Because
him.
I mean, we usually use his like dimension hole. I mean, we like actually most of us have bags now, bags of holding. But anyway, you know how we usually use his sleeve hole. All right, any loot, put it in the Sorn barrel. Okay,
Oh, that's terrible.
kill two
What?
birds with one stone.
What?
No,
hey,
I'm
what?
pretty sure the hole is still open. Like, I haven't summoned it back yet because I got polymorphed after I put everything
Yeah,
in.
so maybe
but
in the
haven't
bottom of the
summoned back.
barrel is a portable hole.
Yes. That's okay.
I'm curious though, Pauly. I'm curious though, Captain. Like, if we did that and then we managed to transform him back into Sorn and not Barrel Sorn, where would all that stuff be?
He would become Voltron.
He become what?
Like
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
merge into
It would
him.
merge into him. Dear God.
We're gonna upgrade him.
Yeah, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
We'll give him some armor that he can like never take off.
Oh, actually, speaking of, can I rifle through the headless corpse of Granny Nightshade?
Yes, absolutely.
We did not do that last session because I was too anxiety ridden.
Yeah.
We'll fix Sorn in a bit. This is just funny for now.
Do I get to make a check, like, periodically?
It's a time thing.
Oh, god damn it.
How long is it?
We'll find out.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
10 years later.
So you're looking through her stuff.
Yeah, just rifling through her corpse.
You pull off her sort of a set of keys, and she has in her pocket a small kind of like wind-up clockwork bird that you've seen. I think you've seen something like this before. And she also just has she has a lot of pockets you have to start going through. In one is a small hourglass, like a ornate 8-minute hourglass. In one of her pockets is sort of like a small little, almost like a salt box or like a little cigar box. Do you read Elvish?
No.
Okay.
The barrel does.
You have someone in your party who probably does.
I'm just gonna mute
Yeah.
my microphone because I'm not here.
It was too perfect just to say the barrel. It was really good. Hey, can anyone read Elvish?
There's the sea elf.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, here you go, and I'll throw that to him.
Alright.
Wait, so it was a wind-up bird, an 8-minute hourglass, you said?
You see it in Elvish, it just says mushrooms.
Yum.
Does it first say badger, badger, badger?
Mushroom.
You find as well, if you open up the little box, inside are a bunch of different dried mushrooms, which I can describe to you in a sec. You also see a varnished inside Granny's stuff. She has a varnished human eyeball.
Varnished human eyeball.
That's like inside a pendant, or like hangs like a pendant from a small chain. The chain is actually made of woven hair.
Dope.
A black feathered quill with a bone tip that seems to be able to produce its own ink. And you find another thing, a tiny clockwork toad. That has like a little wind-up key on its back, much like she did.
I'll just pop all of that stuff in my bag of holding for now, and then we will look at it properly once the barrel is back.
Yep. Plus, you have the other stuff you'd nicked from her room, if you remember what that was.
I actually don't. I'm sorry, unless I put him in somewhere. I think in the heat of everything that happened, I was like, ah! So I forgot to write it in. Sorry to be a pain.
That's right. From memory, let's have a look. Now, where are you putting this stuff that you find? Are you keeping it on you, or are you putting it in the barrel?
No, I've got a bag of holding. I'll put it in my bag of holding. It's funny, but only to a certain point. I don't want to be too mean to Dylan. After
a few minutes of rifling and grabbing stuff, Sorn, you do turn back into an elf.
Nobody helped me. I've been yelling at all of you for the last few minutes. Like
we couldn't hear you, man. You're a barrel.
Well, I'm gonna check my sleeve, and is Gerald D back in there?
He's okay now. Yeah, he's
all right. Cool.
He's licking his lips from those portraits.
I'm going to I'm just gonna say I found some portraits in that room, and then something weird happened, and I turned into a fucking barrel. Anyway, I'm going back inside. I'm gonna keep looking.
Yeah, wait,
maybe I turn into another barrel.
Before you do that, do you want to look at all this stuff, and I'll handle the stuff we found and see if it's magic?
Yeah, that's probably. I was thinking it's probably a good idea to check over any of that before putting it into a bag of holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan was thinking this. Someone had no idea. I also have no idea that you guys were just throwing me around. Like, I don't know what was happening. I was just sitting in a dark room. But yeah, I'll make a Arcana check, I guess.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
14?
Yep. So the eye that's like on the pendant, you think is a hag's eye. It's a thing that a coven can craft that lets them, any member of the coven, look through at any point in time if they want to.
Okay, I'm gonna say this eye is bad news bears. We should probably put this in a box or something before putting it into anything else. Just so I believe that this would like the vibe that the way I'll explain it is the vibe I'm getting is like this could be used for scrying, which.
Yeah, you think
we don't really.
A hag who is effectively attuned to this by being part of the coven that made it, can at any point kind of look through it. So this could be a way for them to like communicate with each other FaceTime style, or she could send it somewhere, give it to someone, put it on someone as a necklace, so she could GoPro see what they're doing and making sure they're, obeying her commands.
I'll just say, yeah, I believe this is for like scrying, which we know how interesting that can be. So like you can keep it, just put it in a box and put it away, or I can hold on to it if you'd like.
Could we look through it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to try to do next. If Pauly didn't want to take it back.
Yeah, I just grab things and then I hand them out. Remember what the dwarf said? You know what I mean? I give them to the poor and the barrels.
Yeah, well, thank you.
The quill with the bone tip seems to be magically producing its own ink, but the ink is the crimson color of fresh blood until it dries, whereupon its color changes to sepia.
Okay.
That seems like Sorn's perfect pen.
In magic blood. This
moody pen.
Well, I mean, if no one wants it, I don't write. Yeah, I have lots of books. I do take.
I put a lot of notes in the margins.
I like to write a lot of things down.
I don't write.
And it would stop me from stealing your feathers.
Go for it. You can have it. So wait, varnish, human eyeball, and the black feathered quill are now onto Sorn. There you go. Yep.
All right. Anything else that I need to look at here?
Wind-up bird, 8-minute hourglass, and a tiny clockwork toad.
So the hourglass, completely mundane. It's not like the hourglass Karu had. It's just sort of like an egg timer, possibly used in cooking. the tiny clockwork toad is you think you can wind it up, and it will make a croaking noise and just hop slowly forward. From a mechanical point of view, it has an armor class of 5 and 1 hit point. If a creature places the toad on the ground, it hops 5 feet across the ground on each of the creature's turns in a random direction and makes a croaking noise that could be heard out to a range of 30 feet. Any creature that licks the clockwork toad must succeed on a DC 15 con saving throw or be poisoned for 1 hour.
Amazing. So amazing.
So it's a mechanical cane toad.
While the creature is poisoned in this way, other creatures are invisible to it, so it makes you blind.
That's awesome.
I will relay that information.
That sounds like a Karu toad.
Yeah, I like that toad. That's a good toad.
The toad is yours.
Do you think I can convince someone else to lick it?
Yeah, I definitely believe you can convince someone to lick it. I'll help you convince people.
I will also help. I can be very persuasive.
If we ever come across like a maybe the next hag, we'll try and convince her to lick it.
Put it in the soup.
Yeah. The thing that had the elvish on it, what was that?
Sorry, yeah, that's the thing of mushrooms. It's a wooden coffer labeled mushrooms that contains 2 butterfly saddles and a hummingbrella. And those are... A butterfly saddle is a bright yellow toadstool that has a ruffled saddle-shaped cap, properly sized for a pixie or sprite to sit on. And the hummingbrella is a colourful mushroom with a frilly parasol-shaped cap that drips sweet nectar and attracts hummingbirds.
We should give them to the pixies for helping us out.
You think they might have some kind of alchemical effect, but it probably require maybe a nature check to kind of figure out.
And you no longer have an alchemist.
What if I ate one of these? What if I licked one of these mushrooms?
Lick it.
Could I make a nature check?
Yeah.
As you lick it, a taste check.
Can I
survival check?
Can I make this nature check by sniffing it? Because that'll give me advantage.
Sure, yeah.
Alright, cool. Watch me do terrible anyway. Yeah. 14.
14. Let me...
I'm just like, I've got them and I'm just like it's like obscene.
I'm going to keep that 8-minute hourglass because I feel like I'm going to do something dumb where I need that.
Oh.
I mean, hourglasses are commonly used on ships to keep time, right? Like the...
Yeah.
That's how we get the speed of knots, right? They drop a weight off with knots every like a certain amount of distance on a rope, and they would time how long it takes to pull the rope all the way down, and the more knots you were going, or the more knots that went through in that period of time is how fast you're going.
How fast you were going, yep.
Did I see the hourglass? Did Pauly show me that?
I think Pauly showed it to you, and you're like, it's non-magical.
Oh, okay. It's not magical. Cool. Yeah, no, because I was just thinking based off the dream that Sorn had about being in the hourglasses.
Yes. There's a lot of hourglass themes. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So the butterfly saddle, it has a very buttery smell, and you think you could probably use it in cooking or tea making or something like that would require a butter type ingredient.
Well, then that hourglass should absolutely go to Yama.
The hourglass?
Was it you said the butter thing? These are the
mushrooms.
Oh, sorry. Yes, apologies.
That I've got.
And the hummingbrella, eating one, you think it's got the same kind of smell as sort of like seaweed that you have used in your time in the military as an antitoxin.
I think Karu will take these over to Yama. They will like explain, like, if you ever feel like you want to try tea with butter in it, you know, like breakfast tea, I guess. This could be used as a replacement if you can't find any butter. And then this thing could be used as like an antitoxin. I don't know if that could be something that you could brew.
Well, I would enjoy trying. That sounds great. Thank you.
I'm happy to be a guinea pig for the butter tea because I don't know what
Okay.
that would be. Yeah.
We'll start trying something. I think that sounds delicious. Honestly, Cait would try it. So.
Well, it's like there's yak butter tea, right? So like, there's got to be mushroom.
Well, it's like
butter
those
tea.
bulletproof coffees where you put butter in because it's just like good for keto or whatever. I don't know.
MCT coffees, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So you got that. Pauly, from memory, I think you stole a pair of embroidered velvet slippers, a false eye made of solid gold, a cracked hand mirror with a gaudy bejeweled handle and frame, and a small leather pouch with something small and metallic inside.
Do you have that written down as well? Sorry, just so I can get it all on there properly.
Yeah.
I apologize. Sorry.
That's all right.
Otherwise, I'll just have to get you to repeat it again. Check it in Discord.
After I've relayed all the information of the things that I've inspected, someone's just going to go, "Oh shit, the kids," and just run back inside.
I've just
And no one knows why he's yelling, "Oh shit, the children."
Foundry? Awesome, Thank you. Oh, because I'll get you to look at this later too, Sorn, some of this stuff, because I reckon there's some shit that's probably worth some.
I can have that if you want to roll that in with my last look. I can just.
They're just the smaller the pouch, I guess.
Yeah.
You take it out. Yama, you instantly recognize this pouch.
Maybe his eyes kind of start glistening, and he's just like, "Can I see that?"
What?
Um,
Hand it to Yama.
Do you want to describe to me what you pull out of that small pouch, your missing item?
Yeah, so it's like a small, shiny silver engraved, like tea stirring spoon. So it's not like a spoon as you know it, but it's more like those matcha ones where it's just got like a little lip on it to like get some powder on there. And he's just like, "Oh my gosh," and he pulls out the rest of the matching set that just it keeps his like little herbal tea in it, which is the one that like you guys know he's like brought from home and kind of shares sparingly with you guys and with the people that we meet. But yeah, this is my from my father. It was a gift from my father, and I've not seen the spoon since I was a child.
As you say that, you enter into a bit of a reverie, and the memory flashes back of two young hobgoblins, one wearing red, the other green, attending the Witchlight Carnival as kids. Running around in awe, cheering at the goblin wrestling, going on rides, getting up to mischief. Whilst in the queue for one of the stalls, a tiefling kid in front of you, or in front of the you and your brother, wins a prize, and your brother in the red shirt is furious because that's the one he wanted. And he's sort of sulking around the fuming as he goes around the rest of the carnival. Sometime later, you find that tiefling with some of his friends like hanging out on the edge of the carnival, and you have a memory of your brother saying, "He disrespected us, brother. We need to show them all that we need to be feared. Our honor demands it." And you both sort of fly into this fight in gusto, these, two groups of small children beating the shit out of each other, which is hilarious. And during the scuffle, this small pouch that was on your belt fell to the ground, and a small, slender figure in a pig mask picks it up off the ground and whisks it away into the crowd.
Ooh.
That damn pig mask. Yeah, so Yama like has this kind of memory, and he's like, I had been before to the Witchlight Carnival when I was young. I remember going with my brother, and it was stolen from me. I thought I'd simply lost it.
That's amazing that you got it back. That's great.
Yeah.
See, thieving and murder isn't too bad.
And like Karu, you now feel that kind of weight lifted of something missing. Like you'd forgotten you'd lost this. You'd always looked at that tea set and gone, there's something missing about this, but I don't know what it is. And you now feel complete and feel whole about this. And I'm going to say anytime now you brew tea to sort of heal your allies, so, you know, lay on hands, but through brewing tea or some kind of tea brewing exercise, I'm going to say you get to add a D8 onto whatever.
Awesome.
Whatever you're.
That's
you're brewing for.
amazing. Oh my god. That's great.
Hell yeah. Woo!
Well, I think if there's like kind of time now and we're kind of just sitting and exploring,
Probably. Let's go find more children first.
yeah,
MT.
absolutely. Plus, weren't there like hobgoblins kind of on the periphery?
Yeah, I scared them off with the corpse.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
they
Yeah,
kind of just turned around and went, "Oh, we'll just go back to the stalls."
They knew
definitely
to
not
dip.
tea brewing time. Cool.
Yeah, I run back inside and into the.
I remember where the kids were because I remember I flew up and I talked to them.
Yep.
So I remember there were some kids up in here, and then up the stairs.
I'm checking the other doors while I'm down here.
This other door, if you open it, leads outside.
Close that one again. There's no point. If
Well,
it's like
you
that.
do see a creaking softly, a rocking horse moves back and forth near the door. Peeling paint covers its limbs, and its rocker is thick with moss. A rictus grin is painted on its face, and near a protruding root is a painted wooden box 3 feet on a side. A crank protrudes from one side of it, causing it to resemble an oversized jack-in-the-box.
Ooh.
I will point that out. Did I notice that on the portrait of Granny?
Yes, this appears to be the rocking horse she was riding.
I'm gonna say that's kind of ominous. We might look at that, but very carefully, because I've seen this before in the portraits that I just stole. And I will.
Might have shown you a photo, but here's a photo of it now.
I'm gonna make an Arcana check, taking into account my knowledge of curses.
Okay, yeah.
Just in case.
On
the two things I've seen outside.
Okay.
I'll look at the horse first.
Sure.
So that is it's a 9.
You think you can detect some low-level curse energy, but that could just be the place you're standing in.
Mm-hmm. And the jack in the box, I will go again. Well, that's a 6. Jesus Christ.
Hard to say.
Okay. Wait.
Just give it a crank. Just give it a good old crank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do? I am gonna stand around the corner inside and use my mage hand to give it a crank from afar.
Okay.
I'm like leaning around the corner.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Everyone, get out of the doorway. And then they hear the
and the box flies open, and a small green dragon wormling flies out of it. Circles around once or twice, sees nothing, and kind of flies off to one of the branches of the tree.
Ooh.
Okay, I may have just released a baby dragon. I'm just going to close this door. For now. We'll deal with that when it comes to it. I'm sure it'll come up again. Close the door.
Pauly, you were heading upstairs?
Yes. Actually, I remember there was kids up here.
Yeah, so there's a little room that you remember looking in from the outside. Yep. And as you head in, there's a couple of children working at these looms that are kind of clacking away.
Hey there.
For everyone else, there are 3 large freestanding looms dominating the chamber. A young goblin and a gnome working the machines. There's sort of the loud rhythmic clatter of the loom. They kind of look at you as you come in. And did you make yourself known to these guys last time, or was it the other one?
Yes, to one of them.
To one of them, yeah.
In this room, yep.
So I think the gnome kind of looks at you again, and he's like, and as he's looking at you, he's like not focused on what he's doing, and like his finger gets like pinched in the machine.
Ooh, I'm gonna like, can I try actually like save his finger from getting hurt? So am I close enough to do that?
Sure, give me a dexterity saving throw.
22.
Yeah, you dive and are able to, like, you can see that he's not paying attention. He's got his hand where it shouldn't be, and you can see the machinery coming down. And
I'm imagining, like, remember Wanted? Like, you know how like the thing goes across?
Yeah.
Yep.
The lathe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll catch that. It's like, whoa, these things can hurt. Now, you're all good. Granny Nightshade is gone. We are friends, or like we are friends of Will. You remember if you've ever met Will? And he's coming here.
Oh, okay. And like he kind of leans into you and goes, or maybe has to stand up on his little stool to kind of get close to your ear. What about the boggles?
Boggles?
Shh. They're here.
Where are the boggles? What?
Give me a perception check with advantage.
$26.
Yeah, you see about the room. There are, like, you kind of see where he's looking. And sort of in the shadows of the room are these 3 figures, almost like little pixies themselves. And they're kind of surrounded by this sort of inky blackness, and all you can make out is like these little eyes peering at you from the shadows.
Ooh.
Right. How far away are they from me?
There's, one in each kind of corner.
Did I look? Oh, okay, there's one in each corner. Right. Well, if the boggles. Oh, actually, I'm gonna whisper again. Like, whoa. Back to work. And then I'm gonna walk out. This one you said this corner, right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna like not look at it. Like pretend like nothing's ever happened. And then I'm gonna put my gun towards its like head as fast as I can. Like quick draw that shit.
Yeah. Do you say anything in particular?
Did you go? I'd stay. I go. Now, all of you, come here. Otherwise, your friend gets his head blasted off.
He instantly like puts up his hands, this little creature, and you can just see like black ink kind of squirt out from under him onto the shelf he's standing on. He's like, "Please don't."
Now I won't if you play nice. One of my friends says I shouldn't murder people on first sight, so I'm going to try and do that. But if you touch me or you touch the kids, Shrimpy gets very, very excited. And then I'm gonna stroke Shrimpy's head.
It like wiggles its little mandibles. They the little mandibles kind of stroke the creature's head because you've got it so up close.
Yeah.
Love it.
And it does a little bit of a
Perfect. All right. How big are they?
They're tiny.
I'm gonna grab.
They're
I'm gonna grab this
MacBook
one.
fecal size.
I'm gonna hold one in my hand and then put the
Yeah.
gun to it, and then walk towards the other ones. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, they all kind of step out from their shadows.
All right. Hey, little gnome buddy, what was your name?
I do have a name for him. Pogo.
Pogo, grab some of that thread you got there, and then get these other two to come here.
And he sort of pulls off a spool of thread, and kind of waddles over, and he's like hands it up to you.
Perfect. Right. Now, have you ever learned any sailor's knots?
No.
Well, we're going to learn some today. And then I'm going to tie all three of them up together, like hog tie them like together as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So we see for the next few minutes, Pauly teaching these two children how to tie up three pixies effectively. Yeah. Excellent.
Yep,
While they're there,
hog
they're just
time.
kind of like the boggles like don't resist. They kind of just
I'm gonna give the other child Crimpy for a second to hold. I'm like, all right, so my hands are gonna be busy. So when you are tying up a hostage, what's very important to know is to keep the gun trained. Don't put your finger on the trigger because you don't want to shoot any innocents just yet. You haven't made any demands. I'm teaching them how to rob a bank.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
something similar to it. Perfect.
Cool. All right, so yeah, you tie up the boggles. The two kids are with you, and they before you leave that, are you bringing them with you? These boggles, or are you like leaving them there? They're well secured.
I'm literally I'm gonna have like them on like a little string, so I can just like dangle them as well because they're tiny, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so I'm gonna dangle them. All right. Do you have any more friends around here? Is there any more?
Oh, some of our friends are downstairs in the workshop.
Yeah, we'll go see them now.
And Pogo goes, oh, I forgot. And then like he rushes over into the corner and like pulls some stuff out of a sort of like a storage space back there. And he hands you a now I need to actually look up what this word means. A bodkin.
Bodkin is an arrow thing.
It's like a spearhead, I think.
Yeah. I know bodkin arrows.
Yeah. So a gold bodkin that you think is probably worth like 2 gold. A pouch holding 35 silver coins, but the coins mintage is like you've never seen anything like this before. They don't seem to be special. It's just for there's just an unfamiliar king or prince or whatever on them. And a small leather-bound book containing detailed sketches and watercolor paintings of pixies, sprite, and other fae. I'll put that in the...
Okay, I'm gonna... Perfect. Just for future reference, I'm gonna throw that to Sorn. Books are not my domain, and they will never be my domain. Any book that I find just gets thrown at Sorn without a word.
Well, I mean, this one... So you don't even look... This one has pictures. Don't even open it.
Does it have writing in it?
A little bit of... Yeah, it's like one page has writing, and then the other page has a picture. Yeah. Brilliant. All right.
I'm taking that. Maybe I'll be able to use it to learn about the creatures of this realm.
Yama and Karu, what are you doing?
I think I've just followed Pauly up to upstairs after the dragon incident.
He's come down with
2 kids.
a gnome and a goblin child, and a little sling, I guess, with
Yeah, look, Yama, I didn't murder them.
What the hell are they?
I'm not really sure, but they were keeping the kids hostage. So they're bad. They should have been murdered, but we didn't murder them yet.
You did good. Did you find out where there are any other children?
Yeah, there's more in the workshop, which I believe is down here.
Cool.
Let's leave the boggles.
Yep.
We'll leave the boggles here.
Sure.
Just tie them from the ceiling or something.
Yeah,
Just hold
literally.
on to them.
All right, you coming too?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if Karu can fit through here.
He's gonna try.
Yeah, it's very Gandalf in a hobbit hole.
Yeah.
Kind of bumping your head on everything. Having to squeeze in. You open that door, Yama, and inside is you see a small oil can looking up at you, It appears to have a face on it, and it kind of leans back to look up at you as you open the door.
Hello, friend.
Oh, hello.
Are you stuck in here too?
Oh, yeah. I'm here to keep the Tin Men going.
Oh, the guards.
Yes.
So you don't want to be here, right? Do you want to come with us?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Okay. He holds out his hand.
My name's Squirt.
Oh, hi, Squirt. I'm Yama. This is
I'm
my
Pauly.
Captain Pauly, and this big friend over here is Karu.
Oh, wow. You're oily. And he kind of
Oh, yeah.
Clang waddles up to you. Like, he doesn't have legs or anything, but he kind of he's like, oh, it kind of leans his little spigot kind of thing to one of your tentacles. He's like, do you mind?
Sure. Go ahead.
And he just starts sucking up the oil.
Cara's like, this is. I don't like this sensation.
That's so funny.
I changed my mind. I mind.
He's
No
like,
touching.
Is there anything else?
"Oh,
Anything
so
else in
good."
there?
What more do you want?
Good point. I apologize. Yes.
So the cupboards, the moths cluster around lanterns that hang from the ceiling in the middle of this hallway, sort of flitting shadows on the walls. Each of these doors are kind of sliding doors, and mostly workshop supplies, boxes of junk, other mundane bric-a-brac. There might be stuff in here. You probably have to spend a while searching if you want to.
Yeah. That's okay. Honestly, that's okay. That's okay.
Nothing instantly jumps out at you, but there's a lot of crap in here. This could I don't know Pauly's mind, but I imagine when you raid a ship, you go for the obvious glinty stuff. If you
First, then
stick around, there's
yeah.
probably some stuff maybe, but it's.
Let's save the kids first.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah. Let's save the kids
Sorn
first.
is going to drag the boggles over to the other end of the house.
Okay.
And just say, where did you keep her notes?
One of them says, probably in her study. I don't know.
Where is that?
On the other side of the kitchen.
I'm going to drag them all along the floor.
Yeah.
Across the kitchen. They bounce over the grate as I step over the grate.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. Now. Don't fucking move. And then I'll stand on the hog tie so they can't get away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start rummaging through the desk.
Okay. So a staircase runs along the wall of this circular room and climbs to an upper level. Tucked behind curtains of moss and ivy are numerous bookshelves bearing ancient tomes, and built into one of the bookcases is a tall oval mirror in a wooden frame. Flickering candlelight emanates from the eye sockets of a human skull resting on an open roll-top desk.
Oh, I'll be taking that skull because that's cool as shit. That's getting just straight up my sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to look at it. I have a magic skull that lights things up. Cool. That's right up my alley. I'm going to, I'll spend a minute or two just, glancing past all of the tomes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe open a few of them and just have a look. And I want to grab anything of, I'll also, I'll try and do, an arcana thing to, a magic sense. See if I can notice anything magical in the room. In the books, specifically.
You definitely get... actually, give me an arcana check.
Okay. I'm going to, dig deep for this one.
Sure.
I'm looking for anything useful. And then I'm going to roll another 4. That is 17.
You definitely feel that there's a divination magic on these books. Some sort of ward. Without specifically detect magic, I don't think you know kind of what spell it is, but you definitely feel that there is some sort of divination-style protection. Abjuration magic around each book on the shelf. The books themselves aren't magical, but there's something around each book that is some sort of protection or warding kind of spell.
Do I get a sense of how dangerous that spell could be with the 17?
With the 17, you don't think it's a trap. You don't think, like, it's abjuration. Like, you don't think it's going to set off a fireball in the room or poison you or anything like that. You think it's almost like a... more like maybe like an alarm system or something to happen to maybe prevent theft.
Okay. And we've killed all of the guards that we know of.
Yes.
The owner of the house is dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to... I'm going to use my mage hand.
Sure.
Just in case. And I'm going to... I want to just like grab one of the books and see what happens.
You're able to pull it off the shelf. One of the books you pull off is called All Things Sticky, Slippery, and Sweet. It's it appears to be like
a novel,
a children's book. Yeah, illustrating substances that would fascinate children, such as boggle oil, troll spittle, tree sap, those kind of things. Let me send you a list of the book titles.
Yep.
I'll put it in Discord.
I might just, if any of them sort of jump out at me, I might just grab them and we can just go over them.
Yeah.
I'll just mark them down in my notes.
Uh,
after I'm done with that, I'll my mage hand will like flutter over and just open that roll top desk as well.
You also see in between some of the books are sort of scrolls that don't have magical wards on them. You kind of unroll one and there's a description of an encounter with, an individual who struck a bargain and the curse she put upon them for failing to uphold their end. So there's like a heap of these.
Okay, I'm gonna I want to gather all of those up.
Sure.
I'm just gonna put them into. I'm not gonna put it with the rest of my stuff. I'm gonna put it in my empty bag of. I've got a bag of holding that's just full of scrolls.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna put all the scrolls in there.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep I'll go over them later and see if there's anything in there that if I can undo the negative effects that are happening through the scrolls. With my magic, I'll try and do that later.
So the scrolls don't have this magic effect on them, only the books do.
Okay. And then I just want to see if there's any information about about her sisters. That's the main thing I'm looking for.
Sure. Nothing that jumps out. I mean, you've got obviously this mirror on the desk that's got the quill and the human skull, and you see a wanted poster bearing a sketch of Will of the Feywild, and in common it says, "Wanted, Will of the Feywild. Find this flibberty-gibbet and deliver him to me alive and unharmed. I shall make you as strong as an octopus, Granny Nightshade." And then next to that is some kind of scroll that you definitely think is like a some sort of magic scroll. You have that read all things.
Yeah.
It's a scroll of Strength of Octopus.
Okay. And then lastly, I guess I'll just check out I'll throw that into my bag of holding as well. And then I want to inspect this mirror.
So this is an oval mirror built into one of the bookcases. And you're pretty sure it's a kind of magic mirror of some kind.
I want to make another Arcana check and really dig deep for it and see if I can find a way to sort of activate it.
Sure.
So let's go with Ooh, 23.
Yeah, you definitely think there's like an aura of conjuration magic around this mirror. And you're pretty sure that there's some kind of teleportation magic to do with this portal. Or this mirror could become a portal.
Okay.
But you would need the command word.
Okay, I'm going to I'll will to my...
And with what'd you get? A 20...
25.
25? As you kind of look closer and maybe you put your hand on the mirror and kind of look into it, you can see what looks like to be the Hall of Illusions.
Okay.
In the Witchlight Carnival.
Okay, so I'm going to... is it like affixed to it, or like just fully a part of the whole structure?
It's built like it's part.
So it's
of
not
the
removable
bookshelves,
in
yeah.
any way. Would I be able to spend a bit of time and break down either side of the bookshelves and then just drop it into my portable hole?
You're with a 26. You're pretty confident that removing it will, like, it's almost like a teleportation circle. Like removing
it's fixed.
will break it from the ley line it's on or whatever.
Okay, so it's alright. I'll pull out that new quill that Pauly gave me before, and I'll just look for a scrap of paper on the desk that just has nothing on it.
Sure.
Or on the back of something else. No, the wanted poster for Will.
Yeah.
I'll write it on the back of that. I'll be like, okay, magic portal. I think to Witchlight Carnival.
Do not touch.
Don't move. In Granny Nightshade's house. And I'm gonna I'll roll it up, put that in my bag of holding as well, and then I'll write one saying, "Do not move this mirror. It is cursed. Stay away." And then I'll stick it to the mirror.
Yeah. Oh man, the ink wouldn't even need to dry before Pauly comes in.
So that's just I'm making more of a note for myself for where it is. And I've also made a mental note of it as well, in case we need to find a way out of here and get out of this realm quickly. We know where an exit is. I just have to figure out how to open said exit. And then just quickly glancing around there, and there's nothing else of note.
Not particularly, no. So with the books, have you left them on the shelves, or have you taken them with you? What have you done? I mean, you can say to me, "I have grabbed some books. I'll deal with them later." I just want to know. You can remove them from the shelves and read them. Nothing seems to be a problem with that. The warding magic is still around them.
Okay. I'll have a read of the Pity He's an Elf.
Yeah, so a collection of illustrated
fruit.
short stories about an elf adventurer named Ethan Hourglass, who travels to the Feywild and befriends dangerous creatures in surprising ways. So every time, Ethan seems to be about to be getting into a fight, he uses his clever trickery to sort of turn it around, turn it into a conversation, and it's sort of like the Daniel and the Lion's Den style, it's going to be a big fight. Oh, wait, no, he's just snarling because there's a thorn in his paw. I'm just going to pull that out. And then, almost like there's a story for children to, tell them there's other ways than violence. Even with my Eyes of the Runekeeper, there's nothing, hidden on the books or any, in the margins or anything that I would notice. Nothing... magical in nature or anything like that. The descriptions I've got there are kind of what you see is what you get. Yeah.
Yep.
The only one that's really interesting, I guess, in that regard, with your Eyes of the Runekeeper, would be the Phantasma Demento's Codicil of Conundrums, which is a lavishly illustrated book of Fey puzzles and riddles, and answers to the puzzles and riddles are written in invisible ink.
I want to just try and... I don't want to remove it from the room myself. I am also going to... I'm going to try it with Phantasma.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to slide it out the door.
Okay.
Just slide it along the floor and see what happens when it goes, crosses the threshold.
As it crosses the threshold, the book turns to ash.
Okay. Well, guess we better not need any riddles, Sorn thinks to himself.
I'm sure riddles are never a thing that come up in this campaign.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to, using my eyes of the Runekeeper and how astute and studious Sorn can be with books, I'm going to quickly read over Twilight Tides and just try to commit as much to memory as I can in a short amount of time of navigating.
You've got plenty of time, so we'll say that you spend the next couple of minutes, half an hour or something, like reading through, maybe even taking notes, not creating a full copy, because there's, for everyone who hasn't read it, Twilight Tides is a fat, wrinkled book about navigating the oceans of the Feywild.
Yeah, but it's navigating oceans, so Sorn's like, that could be kind of, like some of the things that they use in these books could actually...
Navigating the oceans of what? Sorry, you cut out there.
The Feywild.
Navigating the oceans of the Feywild.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to commit as much of it to memory, maybe take some notes down of things that sort of jump out at me, because it might translate over to navigating the oceans of Aurora, because Sorn's not that good on a boat yet. He's trying to be a bit more useful to the group. And yeah, he's just going to do that, and then I'll also quickly scan through the 3 rules to live by, or 3 rules to rule by, just to see if I can outsmart those rules, and then yeah, I'll quickly shout down the hall. There's some books in here if anyone wants to try to memorize anything, but they can't leave the room. I found out with some random book that I found on the shelf. I threw it out the door and it turned to ash, so we can't leave the room with them, but I'm going to throw them all out the door so no one else can get this knowledge. So if you guys want to read them,
we're nowhere near you, dude.
I'm shouting across the house to you from the doorway.
So yeah, you spend some time. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say we just hear and then and then at that point it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, where's Sorn?
He's a barrel again, isn't he?
He turned into a barrel again.
Or no, I think where I'm standing,
you think you've learned to just not walk away from the whole rest of the group.
I can see you from the doorway that I am in, so you hear it in your mind.
Oh, perfect. They are 150 feet away.
They don't hear it in their minds. I'm just screaming.
There's a big
like,
oven in the way.
Oh yeah, there's a big oven in the way. You hear Sorn screaming something, but Sorn, you spend the next half hour or so, reading through these books. You know they can't leave this room. It makes sense that you would memorize the sort of more interesting ones, and you don't seem to be on the clock here, right? You woke up sort of an hour ago.
So once I've committed as much memory and as much information that might be useful to us to memory, I'm just going to throw each one out the door, just like, fuck anyone else
have this knowledge. No one can.
Well, now I have the knowledge. Screw anyone else.
Sure. All right, we'll cut back to the other group then.
I'll make my way back to the group as well.
Okay. Gotcha.
After that.
All right.
That's like ages away though, too, man, because it's like half an hour.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm after I'm done reading, I'll just mosey on back over and join the group and hey guys, I found this stuff. There's a portal back there, but I can't move it. So anyway, and then I'm just twiddling my thumbs in the background. I'll be back. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom.
Sure. Pauly, Yama, and Karu. Oops, I paused.
Well, the oil can became my friend.
Yeah.
But I'm
best friend.
But it's one of those friends where it's they're a little too intense, I think. So he's sitting on the shoulder and he's maybe describing how good the oil from my tentacle was. I don't know, but and Kara's like, that's great, man. It's good. It's just, you know what? It wasn't a great experience for me.
It's much better than the boggle oil.
I'm flattered. I really am. But too mumuch of a good thing can be bad. So just calm down.
Yeah, when he slurps up the oil, it does feel like those fish that you put your feet in the water and the fish come up and bite the calluses off and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I guess we just keep walking down this hall, opening doors for half an hour.
In this room, you see a familiar figure lying on the ground.
Can Yama rush forward, kind of at her?
Mm-hmm. What is happening?
Is she unconscious, sleeping, or?
Yeah, it looks unconscious. It's a small girl with kind of grey skin and a half pig mask.
Oh, this girl.
Yama's just gonna say it to the group, this is the girl Karu that we saw at the
Yeah,
carnival.
Yeah, the one that was trying to get that dude to like give up on his future.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What?
Wait, so
what
is
do
she
we
a
do?
butthead then?
Yeah, she's a butthead.
She was being a bit of a butthead. Yeah.
I also think she stole my father's teaspoon, ceremony
yeah.
spoon.
You mentioned that. Yeah. Wake her up.
Yeah, can I like shake her shoulder? See if she wakes up.
As you shake her, you realize that it's perhaps not actually just sleep. Like this is almost like an animated. This is a corpse that had perhaps been animated at some time.
Wait, so she's actually was dead and has now been returned to death?
As you put your hands on it, ice cold to the touch.
Oh, maybe she died when the hag died.
I mean, can you tell how long ago she died?
How rigor mortis is she?
Holding up a limb. How stiff is it?
Can I roll a medicine check?
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
Cool, I have that. Oh, it's pretty good. 21.
You think that there's a bit of give to it, like this is some sort of ghoul essentially that perhaps is brought to life by some kind of magic or perhaps some kind of command word, and is just currently unmoving in their state, but preserved. Like there's not flesh falling off it or anything like that. It's just a grey, lifeless body, but it hasn't rigor mortis up or anything like that. You know, some kind of necrotic magic is kind of keeping it fresh. To be used.
Is this does it look like a bedroom that we're standing in?
Yeah, there's almost like, well, it's not quite a bedroom, as there's nothing on the floor like a bed. There's a number of sort of silk cocoons from like the moths that have been sort of building in here, but there's no there seems to be no toys or personal items or anything like that.
Well, I might leave her here, but my plan is to take her out of here and maybe bury her elsewhere or something like that. I don't know, I might get Sorn to look at her and stuff. But yeah. We'll leave her here for now.
I wonder what happens if you took the mask off.
Should we try it?
Probably nothing, but maybe something might happen.
Alright, Yama will gently lift the mask off her face.
Underneath the mask is the visage of like a human child. So this was a young girl at one point that has perhaps died, been risen as a ghoul, or was, turned this way by magic.
That's so sad. Alright.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Let's skedaddle.
What do you want?
Next room. Pauly, you open the door. There are 10 brightly painted structures resembling little wooden houses lining the walls of the room. Each small house is large. It has a 3 foot high hinged door. All the doors are open.
This will be for the toy soldiers, I bet.
It is the perfect size for the toy soldiers. A narrow staircase ascends the circular wall. Near the foot of the stairs is a painted wooden box 3 feet on a side. A crank protrudes from one side of it, causing it to resemble an oversized Jack in the Box.
No thanks.
Do it.
Nope.
Nope.
It might not be a little dragon. It could be something else.
Okay.
Something really fun.
Let's do it.
Oh my god. Yama steps back.
Pauly cranks it.
Dun, 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 dun. It opens up, and a green dragon wormling flies out. And I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Great.
Anyone who's in the room.
You're
Oh,
get
18.
you'll get a bonus to your save too.
How much is the bonus?
What's the whoa?
I think it's just a +1.
19 then.
12 then.
Uh,
No, wait. 10. Can't read.
I also got
Oh.
12.
Okay. Anyone that hit an 11 takes half damage. Karu, you take 26 poison damage. Everyone else takes half.
You know what? I deserve that because I encourage this.
You both did.
Yeah, we both did.
I have poison resistance.
So you get to half it again.
Nice.
So 26, 13.
And the green dragon wormling, kind of after blowing its poison, sort of flies up and kind of hangs out in the rafters.
Yama's
Okay,
gonna chug a potion.
Well, we can now safely say that if we see another box like this, it's probably a little green dragon.
I'm gonna drink some whiskey from my hat whiskey. Yeah, and then do a greater healing potion.
So in this room, there's stairs going up. Halfway up the stairs, there's another door that looks like it leads to some other room.
17.
Of course, there's another door leading out to what must be the workshop, and the stairs, of course, leading further up into the room with the beds. You remember seeing that up on the upper level.
There was no kids in there though, at least not then.
There were some kids in the beds.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But-
Let's go. Do we want to go to the workshop first, then go upstairs?
I feel like we've got to come back down at some point. Like, we can always...
All right, so go up here
What?
first, then go to the workshop.
I don't know. Yeah. I feel like we've got to...
I'll do that.
I feel like we've got to go into every room if we're going to get all the kids.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Pauly, as you get to the door, and just as you're about to open it, you hear a scratchy voice say, "Dunderhead, those tatty sleeves wouldn't serve as socks for a chicken. Start again." And as you open the door, there's a plump halfling boy and a young fluffy bugbear sitting at workbenches, watched over by a living, child-sized doll with buttons for eyes. An animated carpet prances around the children, who pay it no attention. The sewing room contains rolls of fabric, bobbins of thread, knitting needles, and pincushions.
Oi, oi! What do we have here?
The pincushion doll kind of looks at you and says, "Strangers!" and the carpet kind of walks up to kind of like get in between you and the kids.
Now, before I start stabbing and killing everything, do any of you work for Granny Nightshade?
They all work for Granny Nightshade.
Yeah, but work for Granny Nightshade.
Yes, that's what I said.
All right. More what I'm saying is, used to work for Granny Nightshade.
What do you mean?
Wait,
Well,
Yes.
she's dead. Sorry, right when you had a big suck on the vape there.
That's right. Hiding it. Trying to get my voice all scratchy. Give me a... I guess this is an intimidation check. With advantage.
No, I'm being very, very blunt and very truthful about it. I'm
Yeah,
not even
so-
really. I'm not trying to intimidate him. Not at all. I'm just
No.
like, well, this is the facts. I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Like,
persuading?
Yeah, persuading then. I'm going to take a persuasion check. They need to believe you. You didn't bring the
23?
body in with you.
23.
Oh, yeah. The pincushion says, "Stand down, Smotherer."
Smotherer. I love it. I love that name. That's a great name. That's a good looking name for a good looking rug.
The rug kind of backs down a little bit. He says, "So she's dead."
Yeah, we kind of blew her face off.
He takes out a large sewing needle.
Start smoking it.
Yes, I never thought this day would come.
You happy about this day?
Depends. What are you gonna do now?
I mean, well, Will's coming here, so he's gonna free the children. We're
Right.
here to free the children.
Right. That doesn't give a lot for a pincushion to do.
Mate, look, I know many tailors in another realm that would kill for a hard worker like yourself and a good old rug that just really ties the room together, you know?
I'm not good at sewing. I'm more like middle management. I kind of just oversee other workers.
You are essentially useless to almost everyone. Sorry, was I supposed to say the quiet part?
Yama gives the captain a nudge, like, wait.
No, very useful.
Yeah. Actually, I have notes for this guy. He says, "Well, that's fine. I was kind of here on loan anyway. I got no loyalty to Granny."
Where are you on loan from?
Her mum sent me to kind of, teach her how to look after children and kind of get jobs done and get them being productive and so on.
Wait, Granny Nightshade's mum?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. Is she going to be pissed that we killed her kid?
It's John Wick.
Oh, shit. Yeah, probably.
Crap.
Although, I mean, she had a couple of daughters.
Look, how good does she look in a black suit? And is her last name Reeves?
I mean, she does wear black, often though grey. I mean, attending a funeral for her is kind of just, maybe that's like a day in the park.
Yeah, fair. All right, well, I mean, look, maybe you go back to Baba Yaga and say how well we didn't kill you.
I could definitely do that. I'll tell her that a bunch of very well-dressed individuals.
My name's Pauly, by the way.
Okay.
Yama.
Yeah, you got, and then it's Karu, Karu just peeking his head in.
Pretty much as best as he can. Yeah.
And that's Karu over there too. You'll see a brooding drow at some point. I think he's reading books or something.
He says, "Oh well, a pleasure to meet you all. Yeah, well, I guess my name's Pin.
Nice to meet you, Pin. I'll shake Pin's hand.
Yeah, sort of this. He's sort of like a wooden doll, but his arms are kind of wooden, like Pinocchio style, but his face and torso are kind of like cloth with cotton in it or something like that. So he has pins in him. He is a living pin cushion.
Now, Smother or Pin, you guys like a package? You guys always stick together?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're old mates, me and Smother.
Okay, yeah. I've just been looking for a really good rug. Just really need something to tie my captain's quarters together. That's all.
Oh yeah, what kind of captain's quarters you got?
Oh, it's pretty damn nice. You know what I mean? The ship's a couple 100 years old, but we it's a fixer upper, but we're getting there.
I mean, Smart and like the rug kind of looks at Pin. And Pin's like, well, I mean, Smother was just telling me the other day he was looking to go on holiday, see the world a little bit, take a bit of a gap year.
If Smotherer wants to do that, all right, like this gap year comes with benefits. You get to see the new world and all of its things. You get to meet amazing creatures like Karu and Yama and bird people.
Mm. Well, yeah, I think, he was looking to go out, maybe get his tassels braided, come back with some embroidery, and just like come back a bit of a changed rug.
We can definitely arrange that.
Right. All right. Well, look, I'm more of the retired educator now. I'm not looking for big adventures. So, but I mean, yeah, if Smother wants to go with you, you're gonna make sure he doesn't get frayed.
Well, I can't promise that.
If he gets
a pirate
frayed,
life.
Just don't let him get too frayed. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah. So, Smother, the rug of Smother.
Amazing. I love that so much.
And yeah, a child bugbear and a small child.
I love how we just collect things. Collect things.
Yeah, totally collecting
Yeah.
things.
Things and people.
Pin sort of jumps off his little shelf that he was hanging out on. He pulls a ring of keys off the wall and kind of unlocks the children. Yeah. You see, if you're sort of casting your thieves' eyes across the room, you see a spool of barbed golden yarn. 3 bolts of silk in shades of putrid green and cesspit brown. And a set of 5 painted thimbles depicting poisonous Feywild plants.
Cool.
I will put that...
The Discord again, thank you.
I'll put it in Discord.
Yeah, perfect, thank you. Thank you. I will write those down and I'll keep them too. Thank you.
At this point, can I rock up at the door with the dead thing?
The dead thing.
The dead body?
Of Granny
That's
Nightshade.
the girl.
No, of the girl.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
why are you dragging her around?
No, like
Yeah,
I've
what
just
the
gotten
fuck?
to the.
Oh,
I've
he's
like
gotten to
glanced
the-
through the
yeah, yeah. So you
doorway.
peek your head in,
There's
Oh.
a
There's a
dead
small
He's
dead
dragging-
girl on the ground.
girl. And I'm just like,
Dragging a dead girl. I'm like,
Yeah, I
fuck,
was like,
man.
what the fuck, man?
oh, I actually will drag the dead girl over to Lot.
Child.
Well, I heard necromantic energy before, and Lot doesn't like undead things.
Oh yeah, as soon as, like, when you bring it over to her, like, her eyes narrow, she rolls up her sleeve and her hand starts glowing golden, and she's going to, like, holy flame this thing.
Wait,
If you don't stop her, yeah. She's like, necromancy.
yeah,
It must
that's
be.
what I was thinking. Just
Yeah.
hold off for a minute.
Cleanse it with holy fire.
I was gonna cleanse it with my fire eventually, I think. I don't know. But, like, I want to just make sure that this thing isn't actually alive and cursed.
Okay.
I want to just...
Her hand
murder a
doesn't
child.
stop glowing. Like she's got the gun ready.
I'm just gonna, like, step between the corpse and Lot. just hold off. Please.
Oh, I've seen this kind of thing in the Guardians. You don't want to fuck around with this.
Yeah, but, like, I'm gonna make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Did I not click correctly? There we go.
Yes, this is definitely some sort of, like, animated undead thing. That is, effectively someone's created an undead servant. You think there's probably ways to give it orders? With a 23, like, you could maybe, with some time, you might be able to figure out how to give it orders to do your bidding. Essentially, like, you'd have to convince it that you were its master or mistress, or on behalf of its mistress, kind of thing.
I'm gonna say that to Lot with a big smile on my face. And then you go, no, alright, I'm
Yeah,
pushing the
she's
wrong-
like, brow furrowed. Yeah, that's necromancy.
Yeah, well, to me, it's all just magic. Like, I don't know. I got divine blood. I got some weird shit going on. Like, it's all just magic. That's showbiz. And I just, like, I'm just gonna turn and walk away and say, do whatever you want. I'm not gonna push this subject with you. I don't want to get smoked by holy fire either.
Yeah, so she'll as you go to leave, you see her, she'll walk into the room and she'll go over the body and, like, start saying prayers and she does sort of pray for, whatever lost soul this was once. But after a minute or two, yeah, you all kind of maybe see a flash of holy light in the other room, as she seems to be cleansing it with holy fire.
Yeah, I feel like Karu definitely sees that from where he is, just sort of like chilling.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
assume like Sorn walks in
No. I've like stopped just outside the doorway. Like just in case Lot needed some help.
But Karu, you definitely see like Lot go into that room where the corpse was, and then after a few minutes,
a flash, yeah.
Yeah, so like light emanating out from that room, golden light.
I think he calls up to Yama. He's like, I think something just happened in that room with the girl. The pig mask.
Oh.
I just saw Lot walk into that room and I just saw a flash of light. I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, I'll come with you.
I'll stay with Pin and Smother and the kids.
And then Karu comes out and
I'm going to explain the benefits of joining the crew to Smother. By the way, that's what I'm doing. I'm now giving the pitch.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
Sorn will also just like fill in Yama and Karu on what just happened, and he's like, "See, I'm not all bad all the time." Like in Sorn's mind, like I think I've helped because I just rocked in and I had no idea, and I was like, "I'll take it upon myself to help out."
And Karu just kind of like doesn't say anything. And he like walks past and like walks into the room and sees, I'm assuming, Lot standing over.
Yeah, so like half
where the
crouched,
girl
or,
used
like,
to be.
Yeah, there's just like ash on the ground now, and her sort of tattoos are glowing gold.
And then Karu's just like, okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit shocked too. What are you doing, Lot? What have you done?
This was a ghoul. This is the epitome of evil necromantic magic. It has to be destroyed.
But
You can't
the
let
young
it sit here and fester and be a weapon for, some sort of lich to come along, or him. She points at someone.
So I was just like, hey. Oh, well, that is kind of fair.
But what about the soul of the child?
Yeah.
Is this the best way to free it from the body?
That the soul has long left that body. In our teachings, if you were to, there's no coming back. That's an empty shell. I've said what I can over, and I've prayed that the soul can know some rest from this, but there is no reversing what was done here.
And I can kind of gather that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess maybe this girl was like, we saw her at the carnival. Yama worked out that she was the one that took the keepsake that he had lost. I don't know. We kind of I at least thought if there was an opportunity to rouse her, maybe we could talk to her.
This vessel has been dead for hundreds, if not 1,000 years.
Sure, but while it was undead, it was doing things. Maybe it could have told us about those things. I don't know. Karu just kind of shrugs and he's like, I'm always up for giving second, third, fourth chances, I guess. Kind of feel like a decision got made here. Whatever. And he just kind of turns around and just kind of walks out the room.
I can appreciate that, but my order will not stand to let any necromancy or undeath be ongoing.
All right, your order, but what about you personally, Lot? Are you just your order? Are you just defined by the rules of your order?
No. But if I see a weapon that could turn around and perpetrate more evil like this thing, is a stink on the air everywhere it goes, just like it's like leaving a loaded pistol shrimp on a table around children. It needs to be disposed of.
But it wasn't around children, it was around us. I guess I had just hoped to take it away from the Fey Wilds take it home, possibly give it a good burial, somewhere that it would be set free, but you've taken that choice away.
To be fair, it was my choice. I thought I was helping. Sorn will like cut in and say that. It's like, I thought I was helping.
Well, I guess it's another kind of freedom.
Burying this thing is certainly one way to go, but I would worry that the taint of the black magic that was used on this thing and has been used on this thing for many years, I think destroying it with fire was the way to go. I'm sorry I didn't consult the whole crew. Sorn mentioned he was probably going to destroy it anyway. I thought I should do it right and do it right now. I couldn't stand by to let this thing be a taint longer.
Well, you definitely know more about magic than I do. I guess I'm glad it's at rest at least, finally.
Hopefully, whatever solace can be brought to this poor young girl's soul. Wherever she is now, I hope she has found that peace.
Well, there are still some children alive in here. Let's focus on them.
Save the ones we can.
Sorn's also just going to walk into the room and, like, over the ashes, just like, it's more symbolic than anything, but he's going to, like, pump a guidance to see if there is a spirit, it sort of guides that spirit.
Oh, very nice.
And using
Flavor
divine
guidance.
magic for once.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear, like, Sorn just, like, as he's walking out of the room, he's shaking something, and then you hear... And in my mind, potions of healing are fizzy. The top has just exploded off a potion of greater healing, and I'm just going to drink it. Because I need healing really badly. 17.
Okay.
I think Karu is the last person to leave the room. So like everyone like files out behind him, and he kind of like looks to where the girl, like where the ashes are. And then he sort of like looks down and like holds like the end of one of his tentacles sort of in his hand, and he just like ponders it for a bit. And he just kind of sighs, and like that's kind of like shaking to like shrug off a feeling, and he like follows after everybody else.
Yeah. There's probably like a moment, right, where like you and Lot lock eyes. And you definitely feel like a determined nature about her. Like, she's quite in the time you spent with her, you know, in the spa and in the onsen and, you know, traveling around. She's been pretty carefree. But this seems to be like
No negotiation.
a little bit, right? Like, this is something she is determined. Like, this is her holy fight or whatever. Like, you get to feel a bit of that zealotry. So however, you know, Karu takes that however he does, but this is the it's like when you've got like you got a good friend, and then you find out like maybe they're just like, oh, you're really religious, I never knew. And that kind of realization hits you a little bit, like, oh, they have a very interesting belief somewhere that I maybe never encountered with them until now. I need to, work out how that fits.
Yeah, Karu makes sure that she exits first.
Yeah, she will. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want her behind him. He's just like...
You definitely don't feel any malice from her to you, or anything like that, right? But yeah.
Sorn does.
The wording of what she said, like, we know that she deals with necromancy stuff, but the way she worded about like dark magic and like unnatural things and stink, like, he's kind of like, that's why he's like looking at his tentacles, because like, it's not like I was born this way.
Yeah. And you as like a native of Aurora, definitely come from a region that maybe you weren't particularly religious, but a lot of that region was heavily influenced by a different kind of church, a more Church of the Sea.
Yeah, it's very different. This seems much stricter.
Yeah,
and absolute.
You would have maybe heard of these kind of people, but they live on like the far outer rim of islands. Like they are the outside weirdos for sure.
Not those inside weirdos.
That's right. Yeah, not the cool weirdos who like drink matcha and stuff. Like they're the outside weirdos who open up religion, maybe not open up religions for profit, but that kind of, their thinking is a little bit rural in some ways, right?
A bit wee woo. Sorn will just say again, he's like, I'm sorry guys. Like I thought I was helping. I don't know. I just kind of stumbled upon something and I was like, well, this looks kind of weird. We should probably dispose of that.
I think Karu kind of like smacks you on the shoulder with the tentacle, so it's like and he's like, it's nice that you're trying to think of ways to help Sorn. We appreciate it.
I did find some cool books that turned to ash, though.
How did they turn to ash?
I threw them out the door. I read them first.
Okay,
it's okay.
But that's more in line with what we know. Okay.
Yeah.
I took notes.
There's the old Sorn.
I took notes. I've committed some stuff to memory. There's also some portal back there. I thought about moving it, but I left a note saying it's cursed and not to touch it, so no one else ever touches it.
Cool.
But yeah, that was
good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, what have you guys been doing?
I think Pauly's employing a pin cushion. I don't know. He's talking to someone named Pin. A rug.
We can pan back. We can pan back to Pauly, like with like a chart next to it. Like I'm like doing like Charlie from It's Always Sunny, like just like falling out this plane, going like and then we're gonna overthrow the fucking government, and then we're gonna make sure that no one has anything, and it's gonna be a fair communist deal. Like really getting into it.
Someone gets an inkling that I don't want to be in that room. I'm gonna just stay outside.
I have a great picture. This is not what I imagined Pin to look like, but it's just creepy as fuck, so I'm going to share it anyway.
God, I hate that.
Love it.
Ooh.
I mean, I like the dress. Hate the face.
Just the glass eyes. All right, so where are people heading?
Just going up.
Yeah, I'll continue up the stairs with everyone now.
We'll send Smother to go meet up with Lot and Cloppington.
All right, yeah.
And Pin, it was nice to meet you, mate. If you ever want to work, I can overthrow the bourgeoisie. You let me know.
Yeah, if you're ever in the swamps and you come across a hut with duck's feet, I might be there hanging out.
Sweet. Probably I'll see you there. For some reason, I always end up in swamps.
Hut with duck's feet.
What?
That was
where Pavlorna was.
That was my thought.
Right. With the frogs. Just super quick, guys. I might need to finish at 9:30 because I have a very early morning meeting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool.
FYI.
Yeah, that's a good show. All right, so all of you head upstairs.
Yes.
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 What was this room?
Tiddlywinks?
So upstairs, this dormitory nestles in the tree boughs and has rounded windows overlooking a wooden balcony. Lining the walls are 10 child-sized bunk beds outfitted with patchwork quilts and straw-stuffed pillows. A young male dwarf lies in one of the bunks, coughing and drenched in sweat, while a slightly older lad mops his brow with water from a bucket. One door, there's a door that kind of exits to a balcony that is overlooking the gardens, and another one that sort of leads deeper into the tree.
Oh, can I go to the kid that's coughing and maybe just like crouch by his bedside and cast Cure Wounds on him?
Mm-hmm. You sort of reach down and cast Cure Wounds on him, which is more than enough. What does that look like when Yama lays hands here?
Maybe he's got like a little thermos in his pocket or something, and he just kind of like, it's like a ginger and lemon honey tea or something really soothing, and he just kind of like props the young dwarf's head up and just kind of gently, soothingly kind of like, it's okay, you'll feel better now. Mm-hmm. Pours it down his throat.
So after a few moments of he's coughing, it kind of seems to come to an end, and a bit of color returns to his rosy cheeks, and he says, "Oh wow, mister, what was that?"
Oh, it's just a recipe my mother taught me. It always makes me feel better.
I feel much better now. And so he looks at his friend, who they look like amazed that you just like walked straight over and just like handled it.
He's like straight at this child. What are you guys doing here? Are you okay? What happened?
The dwarven boy says, "My name's Pud. I got sick and couldn't work, so they put me. I had got to stay in bed today. And the last couple of days. This is Brottor. The human. It kind of like waves a little bit. He was looking after me. I guess he got to skip work too today."
Well, lucky you, but you don't have to work anymore.
What?
Well, we're going to take you home. My friends and I here. We're going to take you home, you and all of your friends.
Oh. Wow. What about Granny?
She's not here anymore. She's gone away.
She's dead.
Yeah, I'm like trying to be all nice to the kids. She's dead. Yeah, Brotto kind of looks a bit shocked at this. And they go, "Oh, is everyone going?"
Yes, everyone.
Well, should probably pack our stuff then, I guess. And like he goes, there's like just like a little small sack of like, there's like one extra outfit of clothes that he puts into like a little travel sack, like a little hobo satchel on a stick.
Love it.
And he's like, "I'm ready."
We're all walking out with bindles.
Yeah. On the if you look around the dormitory, you see there are two of those tin soldiers kind of outside the balcony, but they just seem to be standing there. Like they don't seem to notice you at all inside.
Oh, like they're still moving and working, but they just haven't noticed us.
Oh, well, they're just standing there, not moving. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, do we just direct the children like back out and down towards the rest of the group is?
Yeah, absolutely.
You just get them all in the kitchen.
Yeah, do we keep going outside? Do we surprise the tin soldiers?
Let's leave them tin soldiers alone.
Oh, can we ask the children if there's anything else up here before we send them off?
They just say, "Oh, this is the dormitories." I mean, there's the garden down there.
We can get there from outside.
Yeah.
Let's go to the workshop. Let's get all these kids.
Alright, cool.
To the workshop.
Take you back to the workshop.
Whee!
Like we're going backwards because, you guys started at Granny's room.
Yeah,
that's it.
We really blasted in.
You open the doors, there are flickering lanterns illuminating a cluttered workshop filled with soft ambient music produced by bells and chimes. Parts of toys are heaped on the tables, leering dolls' heads, half-built rocking horses, unpainted wooden balls, and stuffed limbs of soft toys. A stove in the back of the room holds a saucepan of smelting metal, and 3 doors exit the workshop, and 2 storefront windows overlook the market outside. There are 3 young children gathered around a wooden work table. The eldest, a drow boy, prances on the tabletop with a bar of soap in one hand, while a halfling girl and a human girl giggle at his audacity.
I used to be able to do that, but I gave that up. Prancing and dancing.
As the doors open, the 2 girls maybe like kind of look shocked and like pretend to go back to work. And the drow boy Who entered the room first, do you think?
I'm
Probably the
happy to have
captain.
done it.
Alright.
Probably
Let's
me.
make
Yeah,
sure
I would have barged in. Yeah.
Sorn, he throws the bar of soap at you.
I will catch it.
You catch it easily. It's a child throwing a thing.
And I'll just say, like,
Pivot back at him.
I'll just look across the room and be like, son? And I'll look at everyone else and be like, I'm just fucking with you. Just like, no, none of that. We're here to help you.
They kind of all look at you, like the work which is clearly being pretended to be done. Sort of, they all kind of stop and look up at you all. Yeah. What do you say? What do you do?
I'll just
Ding dong,
push
the witch is
Pauly in
dead.
front of me and be like, you take care of this. You're better with talking to kids. So
Hey there,
I
guys.
terrify them.
The drow who's standing on the table goes, oh wait, actually, can I get that soap back?
Alright, yeah, we'll give it back to you in a minute.
Okay.
Now, who likes days off?
The drow is kind of like, hells yeah.
Yeah. How about you kids? You all like days off?
They all kind of look up at you and like nod slowly, and they're like, I don't think we get days off.
Well, you do now. You actually get every day off.
Until you're old enough to actually work.
The girls kind of look up at at the drow, and they're like, is this part of your plan? And he rallies and goes, yes, of course. See, I took a impression of the key, and now these guys, this was part of the plan, so I've given them the soap, and they're going to bust us out of here.
Now, do I see this? Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you
notice
hear
this
this, like,
properly?
no insight needed. This guy's obviously bullshitting out his ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it up for him a little bit. I'm gonna be like, yeah, actually, I'm him from the future.
They look at him. They look between you two. You guys look really different at this point. Like, Sorn, I think you've gone under so many weird changes as well, right? Like, no longer having the white hair of a drow. Like, you've got like the dark black going, and the black eyes of inky darkness.
Yeah, look, trust me, the future is wild. Like, you can do so much, and I'm gonna like make my way over to them while I'm like saying this.
Yeah. And one of the girls comes up to you and says, "Oh, hi, Niall from the future."
I'm gonna like the little drow kid's gonna hear. Is that your real name? In his mind.
Yeah. In his mind, he's like, "Yeah, my name's Niall."
Yes, it is Niall. It is I, Niall. It's been a while. I can do some cool shit now, though. Check this out. And I like summon a sword.
Yeah. It's like, oh, whoa. Yeah. If kids kind of run up, they're all very excited to see you all.
This is very much a drow thing of like in the drow culture of being put down by like women your whole life, and he's like being revered by them at the moment. So I'm like, I'm gonna give him a good
Just give him
day.
a good leg up. Yeah. Awesome. One of the little girls kind of walks up to you, Pauly, and kind of tugs on your jacket, and she says,
I'm gonna kneel down.
yeah, and she kind of says, can Oink get a day off too?
Oink can have all the days off they want, because you know why? You and Oink aren't going to work anymore. Granny Nightshade's gone.
Oh, okay. He's out in the pig pen though.
Come take me to Oink, and we'll go free Oink now.
Yeah.
And I'll
so
grab the
worried.
kid. I'll grab the little kid's hand.
Yeah.
Mm.
She walks out with you into the garden and points to the pig pen. There's like a little piglet in there with the pigs.
Oh.
I genuinely thought Oink was the dead thing that we just.
I was worried. Same.
I had the terrible thought too, yeah.
Are the piggies there? Oh, there. All right, we'll free the piggies.
Yeah. So you open up the gate. the pigs kind of just wander and do their own thing. But like, this little girl, her name's Philomena. She walks up and like crouches down and picks up like the little piglet.
Perfect.
And like brings him with.
Alright, I'll bring him back inside.
Cool. You see all sorts of weird shit on these tables. You know, jars of iridescent glass eyes, a silver hammer and chisel, tool belts, metalworking tongs shaped like the jaws of a dragon, nesting dolls, a stuffed lion, like a lion plushie that has real needles for teeth and bloodstains around its jaws. A set of playing cards, each card depicting weeping children.
Someone's going to take those.
Four finger puppets depicting an arguing family. A 1 foot tall wooden guillotine. And a tiny wooden box, like a box of chalk, but when you open it up, all 8 sticks are black.
Wild.
Sorn will actually empty that box out, and I just want to put that scrying eye necklace.
Okay, into like the...
it's in a little pouch at the moment, but
Sure.
I want to put that pouch inside the box and then close the box.
Yeah, and there's like heaps of black chalk dust in there, and then you close it. Cool.
Yeah, I just want to like everything that if anyone was looking or trying to listen through it, everything would have been muffled because it was like in a pouch, like a leather pouch.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's inside the box as well to like create another barrier, and then I'm going to put that into my bag of holding, just so like no one can scry through it.
So yeah, all the children are kind of gathering. Maybe the ones from the kitchen have all come in here too, because it's like a bigger room. You are surrounded by sort of like 10, 12 children.
Oh.
Hell yeah. Well, I guess we have a little party. Let's go get some food and go to the kitchen.
The final area, I'll just rush this because we are getting close to that 9:30. We are going to call it.
It's in here.
Apart
This
from
way.
the garden itself, which we can explore if you need to, but there's a sort of a chamber nestled between walls of twisted roots. This is kind of like the root system of the tree, of the collapsed tree. And there's sort of a curtain. Beyond the curtain is a table surrounded by sort of 4 overstuffed armchairs. The table itself is laid out for a tea service, and in the corner, a painted wooden box 3 feet on a side rests in the corner. A crack protrudes from one side of it, causing it to resemble an oversized Jack-in-the-Box.
Where is this Jack in the Box?
Sorry, to the southwest.
I crank it.
No,
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
in the room. I'm staying
I'm
out.
not
back.
in the I'm not in the room this
I'm
time.
stepping back.
Third time's the charm, guys.
Let me just like close the door.
We just see a puff of smoke under the door.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Opens up. Nothing's inside.
Oh,
man.
got us. Yama's just on the other side of the door, like, have you done it yet?
Yeah, nothing came out of this one. Alright. Well, perfect. Should we go to the kitchen? Get these kids fed?
Yeah,
That's good.
feed the kids.
Let's go feed the kids.
Alright.
Whee!
Alright, we head back to the kitchen. Food starts being prepared. And then we'll sort of fast forward time a little bit. After about an hour, you'll get the equivalent of a short rest. You hear sort of a marching song coming, sort of wailing its way through the woods. And you may recognize it. In fact, I think I had it here somewhere. In the heart of the Feywild, where the forest is dense and wild, lives a gang of friends whose fun and games never ends. Led by Will, sprite of the woods, they roam the glades like mischievous broods. Their home, their little oak, and they're marching along as they arrive. And just before they do, I think Cowslip kind of flies in, Pauly, and be like, I found him, and then one of the other pixies went, no, you didn't, I found him first.
Right, who found them first? Let's be honest.
Like, I did. No, I did.
Can I insight check this one?
Yeah, you think? I mean, they both they both seem to believe it. But like, by the way these pixies act, you think they both just got there at the same time?
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you a prize to share. I'm going to give them that little saddle for pixies.
Oh, like one of the little mushrooms.
Wasn't there a saddle for pixies? You said?
It's a mushroom.
It was a saddle mushroom.
Its cap is like a little saddle that pixies could sit.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought there was a literal saddle for pixies, and I was like, that's amazing. They could like ride a frog or something. I was like, that's a great present for the pixies.
I mean, you could like cut the top off that mushroom and like put it on a little frog, and it would
Give
be
them
like
that little frog that wind up toy frog.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes. Tell them not to lick it though.
Oh no, that's right.
Oh no, you know what? You know what I'm gonna use that. You know what I'll give him? I'll give him the wind-up bird.
Oh yeah, so the little mechanical bird.
Yeah.
It's like because they're quite small. It's like quite big for them. But yeah, you wind it up and like let it there, and it kind of hops a bit and chirps and kind of just turns its head. And they look.
Something to remind you, like I can remind you of me.
And Cowslip. What was the name of the other? Meadowleaf. Oh, Meadowleaf? No.
Something like that.
It was something like that. Anyway, I only remember Cowslip because that was a great name.
Right, it is a great name.
Love it.
There was the three of them anyway.
One of the pixies is like, fine. You can tell Cowslip that like I'm not angry at her anymore, and the little bird hops over to Cowslip and then says in that other pixie's voice, "Tell Cowslip I'm not angry at her anymore." And they're like, she's like, "Oh!" And then tell Meadowleaf her hair's looking really nice today, and the bird kind of hops back over to Meadowleaf, and just like Cowslip's voice comes out and says, "Tell Meadowleaf her hair's looking really nice today," and like they giggle and like
love it.
So whilst like there's children, eating and the sound of cooking food and all this kind of stuff, there's also just the shriek, the gleeful shrieks of pixies sending messages to each other like 5 feet apart. Via
love it.
This tiny clockwork bird, and I think that's where we'll leave it for this week. As Will kind of darkens the doorway, fists on hips, looking proud, with his little wooden sword or whatever. Star, the little Displacer Beast cub, by his side, and that's where we'll end it this week.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. You solved my dozens of children puzzle. And we'll pick up next week. We'll have a chat between weeks on where you're headed next. Obviously, Will of the Feywild will be able to help look after these kids until you find a way for them to get home.
Mm-hmm.
Or just, leave this place to Peter Pan and the Bangarang gang, I guess, and go from there.
So good.
Alright, we're off. I'll call it there. Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.